Welcome to Emergency Shelter of Northern Kentucky. If you are an adult male, chances are, and you end up homeless, you're going to end up at our doorstep. We are the only emergency cold shelter in Northern Kentucky. We take men and women over the age of 18 that have a Kentucky ID. We will also take you if you're an active user. You can't use in the house, but we will take those that are addicted in here. We are also the only handicap accessible shelter in Northern Kentucky. That means our living space is on the first floor, so if you need to come in. We also are the only place that takes a direct referral from a hospital. So if someone's being discharged from the hospital, and it happens a lot, they will call us and put you in a taxi and you'll end up at our door. We will also open our doors to police and jails. So if you've been incarcerated serving 90 days, chances are you've lost your housing. We will also take those individuals in here. Currently, we're finishing off our life-changing aspect of our mission and our summer recovery program, and we're gearing up for our life-saving program. Life-changing in that this past summer, from May 1st to roughly now, we have seen 100 adult men come through our program and 73 graduate into permanent housing. We also still have 10 guys living in the shelter right now to finish their summer recovery program, and we'll keep those 10 beds assigned and pull people in from the winter that are serious about getting into permanent housing. November 1st, we'll open our doors, and we have beds for 55. We'll take the first 45 that come here. Of those beds, 15 are women, and the rest are men. Women are on one side of our building, men are on the other side of our building. And then after, if the temperature drops below 32, we will have those first come in and we'll fill our first 55, and then we'll have the second half report back at 9 p.m. for us, and we'll put overflow. So there'll be mats that run all the length of the floor here. There'll be a mat that sits where this chair is, and we'll literally, on average, we could have anywhere from, I think our average last winter was 77 people in here for a building that has a capacity of about 45. The average stay was 14 days for our guests. The average age of our guests was 47 years old.
This past winter, the Emergency Shelter of Northern Kentucky saw 477 people come through their doors. That's a lot of people. If you open your bulletins, you'll find a list of reoccurring daily needs that the shelter is in need of, and in addition, you will find a list of winter-specific needs that we can help out with. So let's hear more from Kim about how we can help the Emergency Shelter.
If you'd like to volunteer, you want to come down and take a tour, I'd be happy to do that with you. I think it's a thing better served to actually see for yourself what goes on in the shelter. We have shift volunteers that are needed every night that start at 5:30. They run in 2-hour increments of teams. Those shift volunteers will be our runners. So this is where you can see our need is right now. Our goal is to have 200 blankets in the shelter here, so that when we change bedding, that allows us to put bedding on. We really like these thin fleece, these lightweight blankets. They're easy for us to wash. We currently have enough blankets on our beds right now. We certainly would like to have overflow, especially because we'll have people coming to the door asking for blankets, and we want to make sure that we can give everybody a blanket that comes here. We also have a need for sheets, as well as bath towels, hand towels, and washcloths. We also have a need for meal coverage. Since we don't cook on site, we rely on the generosity of cooks and people who can make a bagged meal, which would be a sandwich, a water, piece of fruit, maybe a snack. And I invite you to come down and serve a meal. What these people are looking for, in addition to having a warm place to sleep and not freeze to death, is they're also looking for companionship. They're looking for people who are willing to sit down with them and look beyond their current situation, and to recognize that they too we're all just human beings trying to survive in this world.
Because of your weekly generous donations to Change for $1, we were able to give $500 to the Emergency Shelter of Northern Kentucky. That money will go towards their housing expenses. And change your lives, that breaks down to getting one man off of the cold streets for a month, or 31 guys off those same streets for a day and a night. Either way they decide best to use our gift, it is appreciated.
I want to thank you for your generosity in helping us to fulfill our mission here. We could not do what we do without the generosity of individuals and organizations, and that help us fulfill our mission and serve the needs of those who are so less fortunate than us. We give them a place to call home, a place that is safe, warm, secure, where they can get a shower, where they can get some food. We believe that if you meet the basic necessities of human life, the chances to end into permanent housing greatly increase. I challenge you to think about what your vision of homelessness is. A small percentage is what you see with gentlemen holding a cardboard sign. A majority of people, it's a downward spiral from a life-changing event, whether it be an illness, an addiction, or their life bottoms out, a job loss. It's a spiral downward that may have you end up in homelessness. We say in the shelter that every one of us is one paycheck away from becoming homelessness. We hope that by being in Covington and serving Boone, Campbell, Kenton, Gallatin, anywhere, that we can help address the needs here.
Be sure to stay tuned next week to see how God, changed for $1, and you made a difference in one man's life. We look forward to seeing you then.